Hi everyone, welcome back to Pondering Nerds. We got another episode for you. This is your host Mickey, and I have with me Alyssa.
Hey guys.
Nate and House, they're not with us today, but they will be back for the next one. So be sure to check us out later on down the line. Today we are going to talk about images that are photoshopped. Are they real deal? Are they altered? There are different ways that you can tell, and we have some tips for you. But we wanted to talk about some of the funny memes that's going on around, because there's so many different images that are circulating the rounds and social networks, and some of them are just beyond ridiculous. Alyssa, are there any images that you have been seeing lately that you had to do a double take on? Like, whoa, what is up with this?
I guess the first thing that comes to mind in terms of like crazy Photoshop would have to be, do you remember when Beyonce performed at the Super Bowl last year?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
So I guess there was this picture of her that was going around the internet that was pretty unflattering while she was performing. So people have taken this image and photoshopped her into just the most ridiculous things. Like they photoshopped her making her look like She-Hulk, like turning her skin green.
Yeah.
There was another one where they, with the expression she's making, they photoshopped her face on like Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator, who's saying "Get to the chopper."
Yeah, but it was really scary though. Like her pose and her face, it was really freaking creepy. I mean, I know that she's in shape. She's an amazing performer, but that picture was freaking hilarious. It was like Beyonce, like this huge creature or something. It was funny.
There was actually, I think, a couple of them. There was one with like her arms are up, so somebody like photoshopped her looking like Zoidberg from Futurama.
Wow.
With the lobster claws.
That's yeah, like I kind of want to see more of those actually. That was pretty funny. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about this topic because I wondered to myself, like, why would people Photoshop these random pictures, celebrity or not? Like, it's just all these Photoshopped pictures making rounds. And so I figured it could be for a couple of reasons, right? It could be for scorn, like if someone doesn't like somebody and they kind of want to like fuck with them, they could mess with their pictures. It could be for the laughs, which is pretty understandable, I guess. It could be for attention. It could be for like having people follow them on social media, changing different pictures for one's own reasons. Who knows? Like just a bunch of reasons why people would Photoshop random pictures. Or it could be for just plain old agenda. Like, for example, this high school in Utah, they changed the yearbook photos of these students, primarily female students, young girls who, according to them, showed too much of their arms and a tattoo or two and too much cleavage and whatever. Yeah, so their yearbook pictures were changed. And of course, a lot of students were really perturbed by this, and eventually the high school apologized to them. But it just goes to show, like, people will just change pictures for whatever reasons they want to. It's weird.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And, in terms of Photoshop, like, people do it. You see it a lot in, like, the covers of magazines, like in fashion magazines and in ads. And they're supposed to be, pretty professional looking, but a lot of them can just go wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, there are little touch-ups here and there. They'll have to fix the lighting or, shadows. But then, some of them just have gone like horribly wrong. Like I one that comes to mind is there was a model. I remember there was this model for a Ralph Lauren ad, and her body was just so photoshopped. She just looked unhumanly thin. Like her head was just bigger than her torso. It was ridiculous.
Like, come on. Oh my gosh. It's just scary.
Like, you can tell that's photoshopped, and yeah, it's,
right.
Yeah.
Well, some of the pictures that I've seen are pretty damn funny, like the Prince William and Kate Middleton wedding with the Disney characters of
Yeah.
Cinderella. That was pretty awesome. And
Awesome.
I could tell right away that was Photoshopped because I remember the characters' colors of their clothes. They weren't the colors of like folks at the wedding, like the sisters and stuff, but still it was freaking hilarious. Like the two sisters looking at like the jealous, wicked stepsisters.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yeah. Well done. Well done. Whoever did that one. And then another one that I also found freaking hilarious, but also I was just like, okay, why? First Lady Michelle Obama, they put an afro on her head, and that was really well done too, but I was just like, okay, that's weird. So, yeah, that was funny.
But yeah, and some of them, I love stuff that's just so bad and just obviously photoshopped. It just, like one of my other favorite like Photoshop memes is the one where Keanu Reeves was just sitting on a park bench looking sad, and somebody just took that picture and everybody just started placing him on just different objects. Like he'll be sitting like on a construction worker bar, and it's just one of they'll make it look like somebody else is sitting next to him, and it's so funny.
Wow, that's cool.
Like there was one with like he's sitting on a bench with this couple sitting there happily smiling, and it made it look like he's just standing on the edge looking sad, with a sandwich. Poor Keanu.
Oh, poor Keanu. Well, things that an average person can look for when they want to be able to decipher if an image is real or not. Pretty much the most obvious way is to know the original version of an image. So if Keanu is sitting on the bench and he's just like waiting for someone to bring him his lunch or something, then you would know, okay, 3,000 people aren't standing behind him. No, he was just on the bench by himself. And so you, like, knowing ahead of time the context of an image would be the best way to know if an image is real or not. Other ways that are pretty self-explanatory, pretty obvious are light sources, missing or misplaced shadows in regards to that light source or various light sources. If the shadows look off, then you know something is up. There's also things like reflections, reflective surfaces in an image, sweaty areas on a person's body that looks off, extra limbs or missing limbs. I shit you not. Some of these pictures are ridiculous because, for example, Kim Kardashian, there's a picture of her making the rounds with a missing arm. And so people are like, okay, yeah, she photoshops her pictures, obviously. So who knows what's up with that.
Yeah, and then there was also, I think, like a picture of Demi Moore on the cover of a magazine where it looked like a chunk of her hip was missing. And, people are arguing, saying, oh, no, she's probably just standing in a certain way. Like, no, that's not how anatomy works, guys.
Yeah, no.
Like, you look at her thigh and you look at her hip and it just doesn't line up. Or maybe it does, who knows. But I have a feeling you can just tell.
Yeah, pretty much. If you have a basic understanding of anatomy, you know that we need hips. We have hips. They're there for a reason. And if they're missing, the weirdness is happening. There are actually other ways of finding out if an image is altered by doing a little bit of detective work behind the scenes. So what you can do is you can right-click an image and look at the metadata or the properties of an image, and you can look at if photograph has been compressed or not, or how many times it may have been compressed, and also if it was last saved via a Photoshop file or not. You can see all of that with metadata, depending on if the information was stored or was given or not. That's not always the case, but it could be one of the starting areas if you really want to know if an image was altered with Photoshop. Also, you can just go in and look closely at the photo. The more, the higher the resolution, the more content you can see, and the more you can detect. So a pair of glasses or good eyesight, those are the best tools that you can have. You can check out a person's hair around their head. You could pay attention to round areas of color inside or around an object or a person. You can check out the background. There's actually one of the tools in Photoshop is a brush tool, and you can see if there are any round areas that the brush tool may have created. That's actually if you go in far enough, you can look for stuff like that, and it's pretty amazing. Like if you keep up with it, if you just kind of have a little patience, if there's an area in the picture that looks kind of off, you can check that out, and that might be one of the signs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Or you know.
Yeah. And there are actually services out there that can help people to determine if an image was faked or not. There are services like photo forensics, image edited, 4 and 6. These are services that are out there for people who want to kind of outsource their detective work and tell if an image was faked or not.
So cool. So yeah. So basically, what it comes down to is Photoshop. It can impress us. The things it does can wow us. It can horrify us. It can make us laugh. Photoshop is a beautiful tool, but it needs discipline. It needs to be tamed like anything else. It's a powerful tool.
Yeah, good point, definitely. And if someone's in the media, if someone's in the spotlight and someone is altering their image without their consent, it can be downright annoying. I mean, the artist Lord, she was really pissed off at Photoshop work done on her picture, and she went to Twitter about it. And I would be annoyed if I was her too, because it's just, you have your look messed with. And if you're representing realness and authenticity, and then you have someone in the outside world telling you that no, you're not supposed to look the way you look, then yeah, something definitely needs to be done about that. But it's just my 2 cents. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. And if you guys have any Photoshop stories that you want to share, please let us know. I'm curious. And yeah, let us know what you think. Follow us on Facebook, and let us know if you have any more topics, any other interesting topics that you want us to tackle. All right. So see you next time. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.